She waved a stack of papers at the cops, screaming that I owed thousands. But when they looked closer, the bills weren't mine. They were hers, and that mistake cost her everything. I bought my house in a quiet little neighborhood because it wasn't under any HOA. That was the selling point for me. Peace, privacy, and no self-appointed neighborhood dictator telling me what flowers I could plant. But the subdivision next door, they had one of the worst HOAs in the county, and running it all was none other than HOA Karen, the kind of woman who strutted around with a clipboard like she was queen of the block. For months, she'd been trying to rope me into her HOA, even though my house wasn't part of it. I ignored her letters and fake invoices, thinking she'd eventually give up. Oh no, Karen doesn't give up. She escalates. One Friday evening, I pulled into my driveway and saw two patrol cars waiting. Karen stood there with a smug grin, holding a fat folder of paperwork. "There he is," she shouted. "That's the man who owes the HOA over $12,000 in unpaid bills. Arrest him." The officers approached me. "Sir, can we see your ID and talk about these alleged debts?" I stayed calm and handed them my license. "Gentlemen, I don't belong to this HOA. She's been harassing me for months." Karen shoved the papers forward. "Look, the late fees, landscaping fines, maintenance bills, he hasn't paid a dime." The cops started flipping through her folder. That's when the cracks showed. Every single bill had her name on it. Every fine, every overdue notice, it all traced back to her property inside the HOA. One officer raised an eyebrow. "Ma'am, these were your bills. Why are you trying to pin them on him?" Karen's face turned beet red. "No, he was supposed to take responsibility. He uses our roads, our lake. He should pay." The officers didn't buy it. They asked me to step aside while they questioned her. I heard phrases like filing a false report and attempted fraud. Within minutes, Karen's smug grin had vanished. The officers handed me back my license and apologized. Meanwhile, Karen was put in cuffs right there in front of her HOA board members who had gathered to watch. Turns out, not only had she been dodging her own HOA dues, but she'd been trying to cover it up by blaming me. Her little power trip ended that night with a police cruiser ride, not for me, but for her. And the best part? The HOA had to remove her as president after the scandal. All because Karen thought she could stick me with her bills.
I am Liam, and trust me, the next HOA story is even worse. Subscribe now.